Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train a Dragon podcast. I'm your host HC, and with me are.
Rush 2112.
And Wolf.
And today, I'm surprised we didn't do this one earlier, considering how long it was in a backlog. But here we are now. Don't you guys hate stereotypes?
Sure.
We're Americans. We'll let you know about you.
Well, I think Russia just just told us a stereotype we weren't ready for. So yeah, but anyway, stereotypes are all over the place. They are in basically every franchise to a lesser or bigger degree. So we said, you know what? Let's go over our favorite How to Train a Dragon characters and try and figure out what kind of stereotype they are. Because hey, when you get down to this, the movies themselves are pretty basic. You know, save for a few things. So let's go over our characters and see how stereotype they are. Anyway, let's start with the main guy himself. Let's start with Hiccup. I think this is a simple one. What kind of stereotype is Hiccup?
The loser must always be a runt. Referencing the first movie.
Yeah, but in that sense, you can also say he's like always the nerd who becomes the hero. This is something that's been done a lot of times.
Not a stereotype, I'd say.
Okay, fair point. But it's also like the loser must be around. He's also smart. Like the loser is the smartest of the bunch.
Yeah, I can buy that.
Still trope. I think this is going to be mostly tropes, not stereotypes.
That's all for this episode of the Berkcast. We'll come back in about 2 seconds with the tropes of How to Train Your Dragon.
No, but okay. So you know what? Let's just say that stereotypes and tropes are kind of they're kind of going hand in hand. Like you can say about basically every stereotype that it's a trope as well. So might as well. It's a stereotypes tropes episode.
Excuse me. Stereotype stropes. That's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
No, I said stereotypes.
HC is having a stroke.
Who knows? I won't confirm nor deny.
But, that's a bad thing. You should.
You should
if you're
confirm.
Having a stroke, go to the hospital. HC.
Yeah. Well, he said stroke, not stroke. So.
Moving on.
Before this gets dark, let's move on. So we already said about Hiccup as a So the loser must be around. The loser is usually the smartest one of the group, and the loser who becomes the hero. And what else do we have to say about our Viking chief, the current one, not the old one?
The
Silence
hero gets
he's not
the hot girl.
About, that's why.
Yeah.
Trope.
our main character, and nobody has anything to say about him as in terms of the. But another stereotype trope I guess you could give it is kind of the jokey nerd that uses sarcasm in order to hide his fears or something. He's kind of like that.
There's the idea of the attractive but also unattractive nerd,
Yes.
Well,
he got long-bottomed.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a name for this. It's called Neville Longbottom, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still believe that the producers of Harry Potter are like sitting somewhere and thinking we've created a meme without even trying.
I didn't mean just that. I meant the idea that, like, hey, this character's supposed to be unattractive to everyone. They look ugly when actually they don't look ugly. Or
right.
The idea that, oh, they've taken off their glasses.
Now
they're
they're
really hot.
Yeah, I was about to say that
no,
too.
No, they were the same way before.
So what you're saying is that Hiccup is Clark Kent?
No, that's not what that means either. You're really bad at this trope and stereotype thing, HC.
Well, I can joke.
No, you can't.
The idea is, what's the actress's name? I think it's Anna Kendrick. Like she plays a lot of, hey, this character's unattractive, when it's Anna Kendrick, and Anna Kendrick is very attractive.
Yeah, like I think.
Ugly, quote unquote.
Yeah, you know something. In the first movie, I would argue that it kind of works. Like that movie one Hiccup is not the most attractive one of the.
He's 15. I can tell you, I did not look like I did now when I was 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. That when you get to the second movie and onward, and he has this new quote unquote harder design. That's not only because he grew up, and when you grow up you sometimes get more beautiful. It depends, but it's also like kind of representing where he is now. Like in the second movie, aside from Strick wanting him to become chief, he's more comfortable with his position. He's seen the village is proud of him and everything. So it's also kind of representing that. But I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean.
You can get my mini rant about people complaining that Hiccup shouldn't look like he does, and I always throw back at them. If you looked at me when I was 15 and when I was now, I think I'm not going to say I got super hot like Hiccup, but I am definitely not the same person I looked like when I was 15.
Yeah, like look at my teenage years and look at me now. No, I'm not Hiccup levels right now, like at all. I'm not even close. But it is better than what was there before, all things considered.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, Wolf is just a wolf. He was a puppy. Now he's an adult.
Always cute.
Ha! Funny.
Okay, so let me think. Any other tropes or stereotypes regarding Hiccup? Jay Baruchel plays a nerd cliche.
That's just unfortunate about him, though.
Because he is a good actor. I do like him when I see him in movies and shows. He's really funny. But like Wolf said, there are actors that gets casted in like one specific type of role.
What do they call that? Him. That's there's a name for that.
Typecast.
Typecast. Yeah.
So yeah, he's kind of typecast as this nerdy, awkward person. But you know what? He does this well. So you know something? I think Hiccup is the most badass of his roles. We are in agreement on that. Great. Let's move on. We have.
It's called. There's a lot of rules to think about and see if.
We'll just go with. Oh.
Yeah,
well,
usually...
let's say it like this. I don't think Jay Baruchel ever played a character that rides a dragon, has a fireproof suit, a chief, lost a leg and everything. I think it's a safe assumption.
Yeah, but if anything had been done before, it would be that this role would be called derivative, and if anything does it after, that role would be called derivative.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see then, won't we?
Jay Baruchel plays the main character in Die Hard. There you go.
You know something? I would watch that movie. I would see that movie day one.
Trying to think of a joke in Hiccup voice for Die Hard, but oh wait, here we go. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. Great. Now we can finish the episode on that, but we don't. Moving on.
I already stopped recording.
Okay. Moving on. We have Astrid. I guess this is a simple one.
Pretty girl athletic. The end.
Well, there's also the idea of kind of the award for the hero, the trophy for the hero at the end of the first movie. There's the idea of it depends on who you talk to some degree, I would say, but there's the idea of her taking. I don't know if it's a stereotype. It might be a trope, but I'm not sure which trope it would be or what it's called. But the idea of her taking a back seat to the hero, when in the first movie that wasn't really the case.
Yeah, I think one stereotype trope that she does have is the pretty popular girl that everybody loves, and the nerdy hero has a crush on, and at the end of the stories they get together. That's the obvious one.
Yeah.
And another thing about her is kind of like that. There's also a thing that. Continuing that when I said that there's the nerdy hero, even though she doesn't think much of him at the start, she's also not necessarily malicious towards him. Like she's more, on the fence regarding him unless she has to talk to him, rather it be a good or bad thing. She also has this, and I guess a general stereotype, like not generally speaking, like a general, army general, because she's usually the one that's focused more on the mission and how everything and how the riders are performing rather than the results.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to carry this entire thing? Don't you have anything else to add?
I said, mm-hmm.
I just nodded my head in agreement. You just can't see it.
Which is kind of bad considering the fact this is a podcast. We kind of need to hear you, otherwise because we can't see.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
The agreement. Mm-hmm. It works.
Yeah. And you have anything to add besides or is it all going to be an episode?
Okay. An episode of just That's not gonna get old real fast already.
Hey, if I may plug our good friend Hadek, who did an entire stream of a game, is saying only Draggle Jug. How was this even managed? I have no idea, but people have talent. I don't care on the off chance.
Good joke.
Good meme, bro. You know what never gets old, HC?
What?
Moving you to another channel. Wolf seems to like it.
You know what else doesn't get old? Me hating you. Me hating your guts. That's my stereotype.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, this you know something? Let's talk about our stereotypes for a second. Rush is the always late stereotype. And even when he shows up on time, he doesn't ping me so that he could tell me both of them are here stereotype. And Wolf is just the I'm siding with whoever's winning stereotype. There you go.
No, he sides with whoever can cause the other to rage more.
Which is basically
usually you're siding with me.
Yeah. Because why not?
Wait, what's the custom rule I made for him? Or you made? Sits on the fence so much it's up his ass. There we go. Mr. Pedantic.
Oh, I think that's you.
No, that's creating the role. Yeah, that was probably
me. Creating the role, not you. Okay, another episode that's out of control. Let's
most original name.
This is what happens when you don't make a script.
Yeah.
What can I script here? What can I script? How do I script?
Don't ask us. That's your job.
That's your job, HC. Yeah, let's get to your stereotypes instead of you calling us out.
Yeah, what is my stereotype? Go.
The foreigner.
As you can see,
I didn't want to say.
I mean, we might as well.
We gotta get that
Yeah.
out there.
It's there.
It's
Yeah,
there.
Casual racism has to
Low-
come out at some point.
Racist.
you know something.
Low-hanging
Something.
fruit.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it took us 100 and something episodes to get to a racist joke.
No, I did it sooner than this. I've already there was a previous comment
Mm-hmm.
about the casual racism, and I've done it before.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Casual racism. But no, you Mr. Rage.
Nice segue.
Mr. H. There. Okay.
Mr. Rage.
Mr. Rage.
Yes. I know I've had my fair share of rants, but I think you've had the most.
No, I think my rant, if you're referring to that specific one, is
Forget any.
I thought you meant about you're talking about that fanfiction one I had really early on.
Mm. That was
But
definitely up there.
yeah, so I'm usually the one remembered for the rant, so yeah, I'll accept that.
Usually this is the point
And-
where I say where were we in the script, but calling back to Wolf, we don't have a script.
But you know something, just to be honest, I'm surprised that there's a trope stereotype of me you didn't mention, but I'm going to take that and move on. We talked about Astrid, let's talk about Snotlout.
Full of himself.
The fool of himself, Jock.
The heck that just happened to Wolf?
Sorry.
He sneeze?
No, I said the and then muted.
Duh.
Oh yeah, it's like you said duh, and then like
Yeah.
when you mute, it's like
So
what the hell just
Technically, that's a stereotype.
Yeah, you know it. It's so what's this character stereotype?
Duh. He's dumb.
I guess technically that is a stereotype that does work. But no,
Oh,
I was
man.
gonna say the meat-headed jock
Yeah, there you go.
as a trope, I guess you would say.
Yeah. And I think you could also say, we mentioned this in an earlier episode. This is from the words of Jonah Hill himself, the hopeless romantic. I mean, if you're hitting on who if you're hitting on essentially your aunt, something's wrong here.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse me. Yeah, there's also the like the severely misunderstood jock where as we go into Race to the Edge or
Yeah, like
the
like
TV show.
The jock
Who has
who
feelings.
also has a soft heart.
right,
As much as he's all
but I
bells
was
and whistles.
I was gonna mention like the hidden talents where like he knows how to sew.
And there's also
Thanks.
him actually caring about Hook Fang and the fireworms and the wing maidens to an extent. He has his soft moments.
Mm-hmm. God damn it! Now every time I say that, I'm gonna be thinking about that stupid ass.
About that stupid ass.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Thinking about. I'm not gonna say it actually yet. I'm gonna take a step back and not say what I was about to say for once.
Good. Moving on. The next stereotype. This is an easy one. Fish legs.
Big nerd.
The nerdy friend's nerdier friend. The nerdy guy's nerdier friend. There you go. I'll get it right eventually.
I meant big nerd in terms of size as well.
The Berkcast, ladies and gentlemen, How to Train a Dragon podcast where there's both racism and fat shaming. Thank you, Rush.
I wasn't fat shaming. I just said he's the big nerd in both senses.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, moving
Please.
on. So he's the he's the lovable dog of the group. who also, has self-confidence issues, so he needs to build that self-confidence up. And he's also like, and he's also, I guess Hiccup is smart, but you can say that Fishmax is kind of the know-it-all. Like, if this was set in a modern day high school, Fishmax would have glasses. I'm telling you right now.
And in usually modern day
Probably.
use, he does.
Yeah, so this is the character that if you look at the group on this group dynamic, then I guess you can easily say that Fishlegs the is the smart one, at least when it comes to dragon facts and stuff, because Hiccup is the one that invents more, advances the team more, and eventually and is the leader with the strategies. So that's more his thing. Fishleg's wisdom comes from he knows his dragons more than most people.
Fish Legs is the person in your friend group who's really smart about one specific thing, and whenever you mention it or get something wrong, he's the one who's going to go, well, actually.
Ah, so he's the wolf of the group, Mr. Pedantic.
One way to look at it.
Every group needs one.
It's funny you say that because it's funny you say that because
It's what we want you to think, because otherwise we have nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Just
Going actually at any given moment is what we live for. It's all we've got.
it
why
reminds
we do
me.
it.
It reminds me that I actually had a moment like this when I went to see How to Train Dragon 2 for the first time. I'm not. Have I told this on mic? I don't think so.
Well, now's your chance.
You've heard it here,
Okay,
folks.
This episode has a topic.
Okay, so basically, like when I went to see How to Train Dragon 2 with a bunch of some friends and some no longer friends, I was at the bathroom for a second, and there were two people there who just walked out of the 2014 Godzilla movie. The one that we just got the sequel to. So, and I was talking about Godzilla, and as I'm entering one of the toilets there, the guy is like, that Godzilla is actually like Chinese or something. I hear this. I open the door. I tell him they're Japanese, not Chinese. Closes the door.
I think you have told that story before.
I
I'm not
haven't
sure if
heard
it's-
it, but I'm glad I did.
It's just as boring now as it was back then.
Thank you, Wolf. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's like
Hearing it
that's like assuming my sax joke. Which one was worse?
He's going to
Both
say,
equally bad.
Thank you.
well,
HC was just
something?
telling that story to make me feel better.
This is true.
Something. Hearing Wolf say this is like serving a bad dish to Gordon Ramsay. This is what it is. You tell someone how you correct people by saying actually, and he's like, nah, this is not good enough. I do it better. Fuck off.
I would have liked it if Wolf had gone, wow, I can't believe it. You told a story worse than Rush's. Just kind of building it up more and more. I love those moments when people do that.
Well, anyway, so we talked about fish nuggets. Now we have the twins. Crazy people.
The over-the-top quirky.
Yeah. Overly jokey. Never take anything serious.
Mm-hmm.
And to an extent, this is a more tough nut than rough, obviously, but the T.J. Miller stereotype, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about
T.J. Miller, a person who's also typecast.
Yeah, but this is like, I could tell you that there are some different nuances to some of Jay Baruchel's characters, but T.J. Miller literally plays the same character. Like, he's the crazy one in
He plays
this.
him. He plays himself.
Yeah, he plays himself in Hunter x Dragon. He plays himself in Big Hero 6. He plays himself in Deadpool. The only movie that he plays himself in that other movie he did with Jay Baruchel called She's Out of My League. I think the only movie he doesn't necessarily play himself is the Emoji movie. and I'm going to assume it because I never actually saw that movie because I have limits.
Fair enough.
First I've heard of it.
Oh, you didn't know? He's the main character in this, apparently.
No, that you have limits on movies. Anyway,
Trust me, I have. To some extent, you are talking to the person who beat Sonic 06, so take with a grain of salt, I admit.
You know what, HC? I bet you would have seen the new Sonic movie coming out even if they didn't do the change of model.
You know I was going to see it. I have to. It's in my contract.
You have limits.
You signed with yourself.
With the
so it's
devil.
not really a contract. No, no.
Well, here's the thing. I would have seen it because
You can't sign
The
away your
devil has
soul
standards.
to yourself.
There
are some souls he won't take.
No, the devil has standards.
Gee, thanks. I'm assuming you are one of them because the devil won't take both of our souls, Rush, because he wants a good sense of humor, and as we all know, Wolf is the devil and he doesn't like our jokes. So
I've made him laugh. I've made him. My one crowning moment is when I made you guys both.
That's why I'm not the devil. But anyways, because I have no standards, he does.
Let's be honest. He wouldn't take anybody on this show.
No.
Oh man, but just because you mentioned that,
I still have no standards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but just to answer your question, Rush, design change or not, I would have gone seen it because I'm fair and I'll give it its fair shake. As much as I believe it's going to be terrible and a catastrophe, and also I probably need to do an outcast about it where I laugh about how bad it is.
Just like the last couple set of games they made.
Dependable. Depends. I will honestly say depends on that. But
back to the twins though.
Yeah,
most likely to start a cult.
Yeah, most likely.
That's
what I'm talking about.
that's a great award.
They do kind of start a cult. It's called the Loki cult.
Yeah, but they're the only two followers.
My best friend follows it. Trust me, she follows anything Loki. Alongside her boyfriend, who approves of her cult.
In universe, not out of.
Who said anything about them not being a part of the universe? I can write OC fanfiction.
I believe we have the best fanfiction in the text channel.
Are these friends real then? Are we learning something about HC here, ladies and
gentlemen?
Yes,
HC. So.
Yeah, I have real friends. What about it?
Sure you do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
No, I don't have friends.
I don't know how to comment on that, honestly. Okay.
It's my old friend.
Even darkness doesn't want to be my friend, man.
You know something? Funny thing, you should mention it because I actually
number.
No, because I actually have a friend whose name is so similar to Darkness, it's not even funny. So yeah, Darkness is literally my friend. Oops.
HC, also edgy. Other things we're learning today, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
moving back on the topic.
Yeah.
Not giving you the chance to respond.
Yeah.
Moving back on the topic. Going on. Who's next?
We kind of talked more about Tough Nut individually. What do you have to say about Rough Nut? Again, she's kind of the same stereotype as Tough, but I would say
who's going to bring it up first?
Okay, well, before we...
Who's going to bring it up first?
I don't know which we're going to talk about.
You said Rough Nut specifically. Who's going to bring up the stereotype first?
The crazy girl who's...
No.
Into hot guys?
Who's going to bring... It's the easiest stereotype in the world. When you look at Rough Nut, her character... It's the easiest stereotype in the world. It's the first one I'm sure many people will go to. Who's going to bring it up first?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm not
I don't think HC's got it, but what is it, HC?
I think... I'm not even. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to
You know
say
what?
it.
Type it
because
in. Type it in the notifications or one of the hidden ones, one of the hidden channels that we have here
Yeah.
on the Berkcast.
Yeah.
You're close. He's got it. That's what it has to do with. But you're missing a word there. But yes, the ditzy blonde. There's your stereotype.
Hmm.
Nobody
There
heard
you
what I
go.
said.
I'll mention it.
I'll say it. Don't.
It's a stereotype. I won't let it be hidden.
Okay.
I like the. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. We were all thinking it. Ditzy blonde, and then everybody was like, "Oh, you can't say that." And this you can.
I'm just say. I'm just want to mention the irony that one of us is actually blonde. So.
Yeah, HC just got some highlights.
Would be the best point for you to actually go in and edit the video and put a bleep sound over what I say. Whenever I say ditzy and blonde, just bleep it out.
And then we just go, "Hey, well, you can't say that, man." I mean,
That would
that's
be
not as bad as what I said. I mean, when you said look at her model, I said meth head.
Yeah, I mean.
She got the crazy teeth, skinny body, skinny face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. This is going to be a short one. Gotti, crazy old cat lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who somehow knows how to heal everything.
Well, she's old. She's seen stuff. I can assure you she's seen some shit in her life.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. But seriously, let me to Stoic because why not?
Dead.
Yeah.
Greatest trope of all time.
Oh, for the love of God! For a second, I was sure you meant dad as DAD.
The dead parents trope.
Does that fit? He didn't exactly die before we see Hiccup. He died after the fact.
It still affected him in the third movie. Dead parent trope.
Yeah, but his mom's still alive though.
Absentee parent trope.
Fair enough.
Emotionally absent.
Emotionally distant.
Distant trope. It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, but the tough dad who kind of wants his son to be one thing, but the son is growing up to be another thing, and he needs to accept it. And
But that's not true though. His son grew up wanting to be the thing he wanted him to be, but he couldn't be that thing because he obviously was. He's Hiccup. That's why he couldn't be that thing.
You know what I
Whoa,
have
you
to
can't
say to
say
that?
that. I'm gonna bleep that out.
I have something to say about what you just said, Wolf, and that's tomato. What's the difference? At the end of the day, the point is clear.
Wow, no, that
different.
is very different. If I want to grow up to be like my dad, but I can't, like most parents would be like, "Well, you're trying." Damn. Wow, Blade C, your true colors are showing here. You're a disappointment for trying to be good. Yikes. Don't ever be my dad.
The idea is similar, I guess, was what you mean.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, even though
Hiccup is a
wants to be
disappointment,
like, yeah, and also I'm assuming Stoic wants Hiccup to kill a dragon at one point. It's not
no,
that.
Hiccup's a disappointment. He can't.
He can't. Yep, Hiccup is the disappointment trope.
Hiccup is a disappointment trope. I'm surprised. We should make a meme, and we should make this a meme.
No, we just have to, call up Oxford, tell them, hey, we have a new definition for the word disappointment. Send them a picture of Hiccup. Here you go. Everyone will know.
They'll just know, man.
Yeah. Well, if you look up in the dictionary the word dumbass, you see a picture of Tommy Wiseau. So yeah, it's possible.
I believe that one, that was a bad joke, and two,
it's a reference.
That there is an incorrect.
Reference.
There's an incorrect How to Train Your Dragon quote of Hiccup saying, "If you look up disappointment, my picture is next to it." If not, there should be.
Yes.
It sounds like something someone do at one point.
Anyway, enough of the Stoic memes. Now to the Valka memes.
Okay, Valka. I think one trope stereotype you could associate with her is the human that hasn't been among human for many years, so she's a bit more animalistic when we see her, a bit.
She didn't lift her leg and mark her territory or anything, unless I missed that part of the extended cut.
Yeah, watch the extended cut 1. 2, dragons are not necessarily dogs all the time, okay? And 2, you can see some elements to it, like when Hiccup uses Inferno on one of her dragons, she's following the sword like the dragons do, or the way she walks and moves and everything. She does have some of it in her when we first see her. She's a bit more domesticated in the third movie.
That's such a bad phrase to say.
What? Well, Fulgener, what can you do? I'm making mistakes, people. Help me.
We'd rather not, because it's fun to watch yourself dig yourself a grave.
Well, when you put it like that. This entire episode is kind of digging my own grave to some extent. But, yeah.
If you had only written a script.
What is there a script to write about? We're just...
Wow.
Do you want me to write the insults for you?
No, you just need to talk and the insults write themselves.
This is true.
You see? I can't predict what you're going to say about whatever I say, about whatever you say, whatever I say.
Here is how you write a script. HC talks, Wolf and Rush insult.
Works really well for us so far for 125 episodes now.
Yeah, only for most of those 105 episodes, it's HC going, guys, what is going to be next week? And it's like, HC says we can do this. Rush and Wolf go, sure, and then HC writes the script.
The thing is, you actually put in the effort to say this is what we're going to do, and then you didn't put a script to it. A lot of the weeks it's we don't know what we're gonna do.
Have you missed the part where you
I love how most of this episode has been us complaining about the fact that there's no script written for this episode.
HC has finally snapped, and now he's just throwing it back towards us. And then we actually come up with scripts, but you throw them away, and we've only ever used one of each other's scripts. Back on you, HC.
No, I've had a few ideas, but I made him write the script for it still.
Yeah.
That's not for the viewers to know.
Damn, you're right.
Well,
bleep that out too.
Bleep that out. Edit that out. Well, actually, please.
To my defense, Rush didn't come up with any episode idea.
What? I've come up with several.
Okay.
We're going. Okay, I'm gonna bring up some damn receipts here, man. Oh hell no. You don't insult me like that in front of our viewers. All 5 of them.
I'm waiting.
Well, okay. Holy crap! I just jumped all the way to the top. All right, now I gotta scroll.
I'm waiting.
Bechdel test. I did the Bechdel test. That was mine.
Okay, that's one.
And the Berkcast. Just kidding.
Burbcast.
Burbcast.
That was you?
Burbcast, yeah.
The idea for the Burbcast, yeah.
The Hidden World be a standalone film, and that one I actually had a script for.
Fair enough. Okay.
I've been wanting to do the music and audio one for the longest time.
We didn't get to
do it.
Yeah.
Maybe next week, ladies and gentlemen. And we're very off topic right now, but oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been.
And you know something? Maybe we should just call this episode the unscripted episode.
There you go. Name, title. There you go. That works. I'll take it.
The hidden
HC
script.
had a good idea for once. HC had a bad idea that turned into an okay idea for once. Long time mouthful of a title, but it gets the point across.
Yeah. Also.
I'm just gonna call this the episode.
There you go. Even better.
Yeah.
I like that one way better.
The episode.
That one.
I can just read it like Bane.
I'm glad I
That one got me.
made Wolf laugh. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, we lost Wolf.
We're all laughing because Wolf never laughs this hard, and so it's actually funny.
Okay.
Oh man. Where the hell are we?
Okay. Okay, I think so. This pretty much confirms that only. Oh God.
Okay, God. All right, we're gonna have to do something we've never done before. We are moving Wolf to the other channel. Okay, he muted himself, but I moved him to the other channel just so we could finish the episode here.
So yeah, now Rush is the only caster without a laugh attack in any episode.
I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm good.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm the one who's made both. I've broken both of you finally. It took me a while for Wolf. I almost got Wolf with the stoic death joke, but I haven't made him leave his chair yet in rage. That I have not done yet.
Yeah.
But I will.
Best you'll get out of me is is just a laughing fit. For now.
For now. But I think on that note, I can't do any better, so I think we should end the episode.
This is fair.
Okay, let's try attempt to go to Gobble, like in terms of Gobble stereotypes. If
The
one of
father
you
figure.
The gay mentor.
yeah, I was about to say any of you says that.
Hey, they're the best type of mentor. They're
Not
not going to
like
tell
that.
you to be this. Oh my. Wink.
One, you said it wrong.
I
You
was
don't
gonna
say "oh my" like that. You
Oh
need to do
my.
exactly. You need to lower your voice in order to respect the wonderful George Takei. Then
My voice is already as slow as it's going to get today. Morning voice. Anyway.
oh my. There you go.
Oh, wow, it's like he's here.
Maybe he is.
Speaking of gay mentors,
Okay. Where are you going with this?
George Takei.
All right. Yeah. So yeah,
I thought that was a
Gobble.
pretty good connection there. Anyway.
It was.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the more ground to earth comic relief. Comparing them to the twins. He's the like you said. He also kind of a father figure. Actually, if I have to assign him a trope, it will be the supporting.
We have to edit for once. Oh my.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is going to be perfectly timed, by the way, because you say that right as I turned on recording it. Anyway.
Well, yeah. So technical difficulties, but we're back. And Rush, just to bring us up to speed, what is the last thing you recorded before the internet went down?
Jeez, now you're going to make me do a.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this: did we talked about Gabber? What?
Yeah, we talked about God, but let me see how far back. Where the hell are we? Enraged. Hold on.
Say any, and then you
Not gonna tell you
the recording.
Anyway.
It's a recording. It's a recording of a recording.
Yeah, you're gonna have a recording of a recording. Now be quiet so we can hear myself again.
Say "oh my" like that. You need to do.
It was the oh my and the gay mentor.
Okay, so just to repeat something that Wolf kind of agreed with me on, Gabber would be like the funny uncle in a sense, that is very connected to your dad. Obviously, he does give you a few tips to help you out, but and also he's the one that probably believe in all the bad omens in the world, like with the hobgoblin. Like when you see a black cat in the street, he'd spit.
I think he actually is where Hiccup got his sense of humor from, because he just bleeds sarcasm as well.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Also, want to point out the phrase "very connected to your dad" when talking about Gobber.
I ship it. But then again, Stoic ship has already sailed.
This is true. But it always could have happened before he died.
I think we can all agree that Gobber's one true love is without a doubt the greatest dragon hunter who ever lived.
You know what? Hiccup asked his dad, "Dad, why don't we have a new mommy?" Stoic, "I've moved on, son. You'll understand when you're older."
I am going to murder you.
Oh, this is news? I'm glad we came back and recorded.
Yeah, it's gone well so far.
It's gotten so much better.
You know, something with internet being a bit iffy, and this really not having any much of a direction anymore, and we went over the entirety of the main cast.
Anymore.
What do you say we just close?
It's had about as much direction as Apple Maps when it first launched.
Oof. There's
Nice
thing that I didn't expect to hear about again.
Yeah, but thank you for comparing me to Steve Jobs. Anyway,
last thing, all the dragons' pets. There you go. Moving on. We're done.
Okay, so that's been all for this insane episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoyed the insanity. What do you think about the dragon, and what do you think the other characters' tropes and stereotypes are? You can tell us all about it in the comment section below, on our Berkcast team, on our Twitter, where we are Berkcast with B-capital-C, and you can find all of us on the How to Train Dragon Valhalla Discord server. So until next time, I was HC.
I was Rush.
And I've been Wolf.
And we will talk to you all next time, hopefully more organized. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.